Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is the Dirty Coin tutorial for the Resident Evil 7 demo. So if you came back from our true ending demo, you'll notice that we actually came out of here. This is the second time I've come out here, and this door right here. And what we're doing is, if you notice, second time after you come up here and you get the key that I'm showing right there, what that's going to do is that's going to enable you to go back down into the basement. So you can come through that door again, go back down to the basement, and the monster's not going to be there. All right, so first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to start the mystery by grabbing this notebook. And this blank notebook is going to start filling up with clues when we start triggering them, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. Now, we are going to need a weapon of some kind. It doesn't matter what. So we're going to come in here and grab the gun out of this toilet. You don't really need any weapons in this demo as a weapon per se, because you can't kill the guy in the basement, so don't even try. And really all we're going to need is we're going to need the one bullet that's in the gun as we start. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it away until we need it, and we're going to get out of here. So these events are all started by giggles or laughs or whatever. You'll hear these children laugh. And what that's going to do is that's going to trigger an event that's going to put a note in your notebook, and then you're going to follow the clue on that notebook to find a dead body. There are 5 murders in the house. And so if you look back here, this is a object made of celluloid. It kind of looks like a dummy's hand. That's because it is. We're going to use that along with a finger that we find to point. So here's the first clue, kind of written on the wall, and this is you hear the giggle there. That's the first trigger. So from here, we're going to take this first trigger. We're going to kind of, and here, if you actually pull up your notebook, you'll see the first clue written down, and it'll tell you. And so if you follow that clue, that will actually tell you to go find a clock and find something heavy. So the first place to do that is actually downstairs at the first landing by the front door, and that's where, or by a door, I guess, and that's where you're going to find the first dead body. But before we can start pointing at things, we need to find the finger, and the finger is down here in this bureau. So here I am looking at the clock, looking here, and there's kind of like this bloody, disgusting drawer with like scissors in it and stuff, and there's a severed finger in it. So we're going to close that up, and we're going to use the combine. This is the only time that you combine anything, and so you're going to combine it, make the dummy's left hand. Now, with the dummy's left hand, what you're going to do is you're going to pull it up and you're going to inspect it, but you're going to use it to point at stuff. So, like here, see, you can point at the sky, you can pick your nose with it, you can turn around, point it, and there's a dead body under there. And you see that right there. If you actually have a controller, your controller will vibrate, and that's how you know that you hit pay dirt on that one. Now, what we're going to do here is to get the second giggle to occur, you have to have the VHS tape in your possession. So the way you get the VHS tape that we're going to use is to go through here, and we're going to pull these things. Yep, scary baby jump scare. Okay, and we're going to use these bolt cutters that we found to cut this chain on this cupboard and get it opened up. And there we are, derelict house footage, VHS tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the VHS room, and what you're going to do is you're going to go through this once. You don't have to in order to get the second giggle, but you're going to have to go through this VHS a couple of times in this demo. So we're going to go through the VHS footage once just for the sake of this playthrough, and I won't actually be covering it in this one. We're going to cut, and then we're going to come back to when this is done. So. Okay, so now that we've gone through the VHS tape at least once, you'll notice that there's this note on here and everything, and basically using what you'll learn, you'll use the lever underneath the fireplace and you'll find a key, and then you can use that key to open up the back door. That's actually how you get the bad ending. where Jethro kind of like says, "Welcome to the family," and then he punches you in the face. So just like my family. Anyway, so we're coming back down this hallway, and we're gonna go back upstairs. And then once we get back upstairs, instead of going into the attic room, we're gonna go past it to the hallway, and we're gonna go back around. We're gonna go straight back here. Some people will say, "Hey, you've got to like look at this light. That's a bunch of bullshit. You don't have to look at the light. Just come down the hallway." Well, anyway, turn around, and you're gonna see your next clue in the notebook, and basically it says something about um, like a long cold table, and this guy's all wrapped up and everything. And so the only place we've really seen bodies wrapped up is in the basement where the mildew monster was. Now, the mildew monster is not going to be there this time around. Once you grab the attic key and you have the valve handle, he's gone. He won't be spawning back. That's the only way to beat him, is to just avoid him entirely. Kind of like some people in life. Well, anyway, so you're gonna come back down here, and you're gonna come and basically our buddy here on the table is the one that we're gonna point at. So we're gonna point at him. And we're gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, you're dead." And there we go. That's our second trigger, literally, because they pulled the trigger and shot him in the head. Well, anyway, so we're gonna get out of here and go back upstairs. And oh yeah, I think I turn around here and I grab a lockpick off the table. Anyway, that lockpick can be used in the kitchen on the drawer there, but we don't need that because that's where the axe is. And we're just going to go straight to our third trigger. Now, our third trigger is going to be back here in the main hallway. And so here from where the body was and everything, get your gun ready. And we're actually going to come up here and see this hooded figure. We're going to, just back up here. There you go. And we're going to actually shoot her in the face, or just wherever, I think. But there's your third giggle. Once you have your third giggle, you can come back down here, check your notebook, and then it says something about the little boy hiding, and everything. So basically, where do children hide? Whenever they play hide and seek, they hide under the stairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back under here, and we're going to in the room here with these creepy dolls hanging from the ceiling, and we're going to look at this door, and we're going to be like, "Yep, that's the one. That's the one. That's where I would." Hide, and that's where somebody would get locked up and I guess die of starvation or whatever. Well, anyway, boom. So we're going to point at the door, and there's that's our third trigger, our third place to point or whatever. And then the fourth one's out here in the hallway, and if you come, you kind of see like this blacked out mirror looking thing. You kind of see some stuff in the background. Well, anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to do a quick turn. On Xbox One, that's back in A. On the PlayStation 4, it's back in X. Here on the PC, it's just X. So you're going to press X. Press X. Okay, I'm really enjoying this. One take, guys. There you go. All right, so so basically, when you hear that fourth giggle, that's going to open up a new entry in your logbook. You can take it, and you're going to look at it, and what's the next part of this mystery? It's going to say something about a blue and white necklace, and about how it makes her feel tall. Basically, what's happening in this case is somebody hung themselves in the attic from a place where there's like a blue and a white wire. So we're going to come back through this room. We're going to come here, and if you notice, there are these wires kind of crisscrossing up here. See, there's a blue and a white one. We're going to want to look for the white wire and the blue wire, where they intersect. So we're just going to pull out our trusty dummy hand, and we're going to point it right there and be like, "Yep, that's where she hung herself, right there." All right, there's our fourth trigger. Now, in order to get the last trigger to happen, what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to go back to the VHS tape, and we're gonna try and spot a ghost. Now, this is gonna take a couple of times. You might find her on your kind of like first go through. Um, you might not see her until it actually took me my fifth try on this one, and there are like 5 different places where she can show up, and we're gonna show those to you now. So the first place that you're going to see her is back over here by this tree. Sometimes you'll be able to see her right away. Sometimes you have to kind of peer from here. But anyway, that's the first place she'll be.
Then we shoot the intro.
The next place you'll see her is when you're kind of walking down the hallway. She'll be hanging here upside down. So be sure to look for her there. And it's at some point when they're going through the hallway.
Missing family, foul play suspect, and they were quiet.
Now the next sighting that you'll have is here in the kitchen window just above the sink. And at some point you'll be able to turn back here, look through that window, and she'll be out there somewhere.
My good shoes. Clancy, you see where Andre went?
And then here, right above the doorway, you'll kind of like see her and maybe her ponytail hang down for a split second. And if you don't see her here, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to come through the doorway here, and she'll be right there on the stairs. You might want to stick with the guy in the suit just to make sure that he's there. And then this is actually where I found her. It was there. See, now I saw her, but apparently that didn't trigger the event. So sometimes you have to get a really good look at her. But she can be there in the cupboard as well. Alright, and then the final place is she'll be sort of like back there in the hallway or wherever whenever you go down the ladder. So come down the ladder, and you'll usually catch a glimpse of her as you descend the ladder. Now we're going to head back to the basement after we're done here, and we're going to go back here, and we're going to look at this mom doll on the floor. And there we go. So that was our last laugh. And so the sort of the last clue here in our book is Timmy did not mind the harsh light of 4 suns. I used to require heads, and he did not have one. So Timmy is actually in the kitchen. We're gonna go see him now. Alright, so when you come into the kitchen, one of the first things that you notice is kind of this pot here on the table. It's full of stew. If you open it up, you'll notice that there's like some weird gross stuff on the inside and some cockroaches. Well anyway, we're going to point our finger because Timmy's in that stew. Timmy's the stew. And there we go. And that's it. That's the last clue. So with that being the last clue, what we're going to do is we're going to go upstairs, and there is a special door that while you're going to be able to see it, you won't be able to open it until you've completed all 5 of the mysteries. And we're going to do that now. So come back up here, go upstairs, and then here are the TVs where we found the celluloid hand. There's the graffiti, and then there's that door, and I don't remember it having quite so many red bloody marks on it. Well, anyway, we're going to go through it now because it's open. And that's not creepy at all. What we're going to do is we're going to look, and somebody says, "We're the best ever," and you are the best ever. And with that, you found the dirty coin. from here, we're going to take our dirty coin and we're going to get the hell out of this place. So, come up here, use the attic window key, and there you go. Alright, and so with that, the game is completed, and these are all the secrets that we know of for the now. There are a couple other things that you can see. Item transfer, dirty coin. You can transfer this item to the main game if you have it saved, if you have saved data for this demo. So keep your save data with this dirty coin, and it'll unlock something in the final game. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one.